Hey everyone, it's Allie from Ascent Astrology, and today we're going to talk a little bit about summer solstice. Summer solstice is the official start of summer. It is the day that the sun moves into Cancer, and that's when we say things like it's Cancer season or it's Leo season. That is the day that the sun moves in for about 30 days into that astrological sign. When the sun moves into Cancer, it is in the northern hemisphere the longest day of the year, meaning that we have the most daylight hours. Oddly enough, on an astronomical point of view, it is the day that the sun is actually furthest from the earth. Now, the reason why the seasons shift is because of the tilt of the earth. The sun just kind of hangs out, but the earth motion will tilt in its orbit around the sun. So when the sun is aligned to the Tropic of Cancer, which is an invisible line that runs through countries such as the Bahamas. It runs through some of the highlands and mountainous areas of China. It runs through, I believe, the UAE. But you can kind of envision that latitude of where things are. That is that's the highest point it will reach. Then it begins to move back down towards the equator. And the equator, when the sun moves on top of that, that is when we have our shift of either autumn or spring. That is when our sun moves into Libra, which is going to be autumn, and that is when the night and the daylight hours are equal. Then we move down to the Tropic of Capricorn, and that is another invisible line, equidistant, kind of like divide it into thirds, equidistant down from the equator. And that line runs through places like Brazil. It also moves through parts of Queensland, Australia. So you kind of have an understanding of where that line runs as well. But when it gets down to the Tropic of Capricorn, that is also when the sun moves into Capricorn, and that is our winter solstice. And then again, as it then moves back to the equator, and it will be the sun moving into Aries, that is our springtime. And again, that is our equal sun, equal nighttime hours, daylight nighttime hours. So, at the solstice points, both in winter and in summer, the sun appears to stand still. So even if you were to, and it does this for about 3 days, it doesn't appear to be moving anymore. So when you can track this even at home. Like for example, for us, we have our kitchen that faces the west, and so at dinner time we always know where the sun is because it's either hitting our eyes directly. We have to shift people around the table so it's not like directly in our eyes, and then during other parts of the year it's not in our eyes because it has moved through different windows. It's kind of a crazy thing up here. I live in Wisconsin. We're a little bit north. It's just what happens. But you can definitely tell where the sun sets, and you can kind of track that through the sky. That will kind of give you an indication of your latitude and how the earth tilts and all of the above, just from your own observations, which is very cool. From an astrology point of view, we have a tendency to think, okay, this is the daytime to the nighttime hours. So it's a shift. It is instead of increasing in daylight and increasing in illumination and all of that and masculine energy, we are now going to start shifting into the feminine. We're going to be a little bit more of the receptive point. And then we move that back again when we hit winter solstice. So it is a balance of the masculine and feminine. It is a place of shifting. It is a place of harvest. It is a place of brightness and heat and intensity up here in the Northern Hemisphere. Now, oddly enough, when we just in 2021, it is also the day that Jupiter is going to be stationing retrograde. Now, when you have the larger planets like Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, Uranus, those planets tend to spend about half of the year in retrograde motion. And that, again, we're going to blend the astronomy and the astrology. That is just an optical illusion where the planets, due to their orbit, looks like they are traveling backwards, not forwards. And when you look at that from an interpretation standpoint, it is more of looking inwards. It is a place, again, of receptivity. It is a place of integration. So if we were to combine all of this, lovely day, of both Jupiter going retrograde as well as the summer solstice, I would say that a really good ritual for you on this Sunday, the 20th, is going to be thinking about how am I going to take all of the information and all of the things that were illuminated over the past 6 months and integrate that into personal wisdom. Jupiter is our planet of gurus. It is our planet of wisdom. It is our planet of mentors. So how do I become my own mentor? How do I receive that piece of wisdom? Because there's a point of intuition that happens as the darkness increases and we are not into that masculine sunlight. So that is my take for today. I wish you guys a very happy solstice, a very happy Jupiter retrograde motion, and let me know how this all affects you. Okay, thanks.